Hello class. So I wanted to give you a little bit more information on the not poster, presentation slash issue brief. Now that you have your topic, you really have most of the information that you need, actually all of the information that you absolutely need in order to write the paper. It's provided in the assessments tab, paper, presentation and paper folder. I have, however, added another link, which is NIU Library Tutorials. Within that link, you might specifically you probably won't need to be finding books as much as you will journal articles. I like to, in in-person classes, have our library liaison, Dr. Beth McGowan, come and do a tutorial in person, but we do have tutorials online. So Beth McGowan is a resource that you may use, and you can find her contact information on the NIU Libraries page, or you can contact me for it. You may want to look at the Finding Journal Articles tutorial, the Locating Full Text tutorial. So once you find a journal article, you might, if you have any trouble accessing the full article, you can go see that tutorial. Creating an NIU ILLiad account, so if there's an article that you identify but we don't have it in our electronic library system, you can order it through another library through the ILLiad system. Creating an ILLiad account is pretty self-explanatory, but there is a tutorial there. Those are the ones that I think will help you. So again, this link for the tutorials is posted in the presentation and paper folder. The Institute for Healthcare Improvement white papers link is there. That will show you examples of issue briefs. Where is... Oh, there is one other link that I have not posted that I thought I had, so I will add that one up. Which is a link to some more examples of issue briefs. The issue brief template document is an outline of what your issue brief might look like. I want to point out that your issue brief may not take the exact form as laid out in this template. Not all issue briefs are the same. That's kind of what makes them real documents. You know, when you write a research paper in a course, typically you're told to do this section, this, and it's very straightforward and defined. Well, in the real world, that's not always how things are. There's some variability and flexibility. But that said, you are more than welcome to just follow this exact outline if you choose. Some of it may depend upon whether or not your issue is conducive to this. So you will need to have an issue statement. State that issue explicitly and state it early in the paper. This is when I'm saying paper, I'm also talking about your presentation because they're on the same topic. You'll need to give some background and discussion. Why is this an important issue? And that's where many of your sources will come in. Next, you'll have to propose a solution. So it's not assumed that this solution that you're proposing will completely solve the problem, or that the problem is simple enough that it could be solved by one solution. But we want to focus on one piece of the solution. So you need to have a defined way to rectify the problem or some part of the problem. You should also give a couple of other solutions that have been proposed and maybe why you're not going to be using first person. You're not going to be saying, I don't think this will work because, but what's the argument for not using those other options and for using your option, your solution? How would this solution be implemented? And then sometimes it's good to include a section on communication. Who are the stakeholders? Who's going to need to approve of this or know about it? How will the plan be communicated, the plan for implementing the solution? So that's helpful to have. You may also take a look at the paper rubric and the presentation rubric. That will give you a better idea of what to focus in on. Now I want to touch on again the difference between the presentation and the paper. Basically, the presentation is a checkpoint for you. So it's a way to keep you moving and make sure you're where you need to be at basically midpoint in the course, and that you're on track for the final issue brief. So the presentation should be an abbreviated issue brief, basically. So by the time we get to presentation, you should have an outline of your issue brief, and you may not have all the blanks filled in. So it's basically, what's your outline, what's your issue, what's your solution, and it can follow the same template as the issue brief itself, but it's going to be less detailed and more abbreviated. But it shows me that you have some sources, that you have an outline, and that you're on track to your final issue brief. It also gives you some practice, not exactly giving an in-person presentation, but giving a presentation of some sort, which is a good thing. You have a reference here for making PowerPoint slides with audio narrations. If you haven't done that before, it's quite simple, but there's instructions there. I have opened back up the wiki, but it's no longer editable. So if you need to consult what your paper topic was, it's there. I also have a document here for the presentation, just general tips for making good presentation slides. I will post the link, and I apologize, I thought it was there the whole time. It's another example of some issue briefs for you to take a look at. If you have questions, feel free to post in the questions discussion board or contact me. And thank you so much.